This is Slam Hockey with your hosts, Peter Wojcicki and Paul Swinbeck. Welcome to Slam Hockey, folks. I'm your host, Peter Wojcicki. You can find me on Twitter at Russian98. And I'm with
Paul Swinbeck. You can find me at Swinbeck, ZWAMBAG. What's up, everybody? Peter, how's it going?
It's going on pretty good. Pretty good. I love watching these exciting Maple Leafs. They're exciting.
Yeah, they're not bad. Sure. They're not bad.
Pretty good. And how are your Pens so far?
Yeah, they started off good. Fleury's been playing pretty good, and then he coughed up a couple. They're playing him a lot. They signed Condon. Right? They signed Condon, and he just keeps playing. It's weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. That he played the back-to-back, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird. All right, let's get into this. This is the season preview episode. We're doing the East first in this episode. We got a lot to talk about, and me and Paul, just before we started this episode, take a little bet. What was the bet, Paul?
How long the episode's going to be?
So let's hurry up and get this thing going,
oh,
right? Because you said 45 minutes or more. I'm going under. So we'll see what happens. And let's go. First, we're going to start with the Eastern Division. How we're breaking this up, folks. I got to tell you at least that. We're doing a little bit of a team sneak peek. We're going to predict our teams, at least per division, 8-1. Obviously, we're going backwards, in order of what we feel. And while we're naming these teams, we're going to talk about players that we think are top players on these teams, players that are going to step up this year, underrated players, and of course, what I love to talk about, guys that are on the hot seat, players, coaches, and GMs, that their jobs could be on the line. Right, Paul? Who's out there that you really think has a job on the line this year?
Yeah, they got hot butts. The pants are on fire. They're scared.
The hot butts?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're already thinking maybe Tortorella's on the hot seat, right?
Yeah, and you poo-pooed that one pretty quickly when I brought it up in our show notes.
Is that we're doing right now? We're going to go with the divisions. What's this division called again? What's it called? The Metrosexual division?
Metropolitan. Peter.
Oh, that's it. Metropolitan. My favorite ice cream when I was growing up. That's it. Metropolitan.
No, Peter, that's Neapolitan.
Oh, that's Neapolitan. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. So I don't know why you can put Tortorella on a hot seat for, of course, my pick to be at the bottom of the Neapolitan division. This team is garbage. Hot garbage.
Really? So they're number 8 on the list.
On my team, they're number 8. They're at the bottom. They're going to be at the bottom. Yeah, I can't blame Tortorella for a garbage team. I'm going to blame maybe the GM. He should be on the hot seat, in my opinion, more. Right? I don't know. Maybe. That's my pick. You don't have the Jackets as your bottom 8?
No, I don't. Okay. And I think because Bobrovsky, I think he's a decent enough goalie that'll keep him out of the basement.
Steal a few games for them.
Yeah.
Out of the Blue Jackets, what do you think? What do you expect? What players are going to step up?
I really hope Seth Jones steps up. It's about time.
That was my pick as well. Yeah. He's going to get every opportunity to succeed on this team as a number 1.
Yeah, I'm really upset I haven't watched a Blue Jackets game yet. I gotta tune into one of them.
I'm not upset about that at all.
No, I really want to see Oliver Bjorkstrand. I'm pretty excited about this kid.
Oh, yes, of course. We want to hear all about the kids on this team, but again, they're trapped with so many bad contracts on this team, and they have to play these overpaid players. Now, they got to play them in those positions, so you're not going to be able to see the kids playing in stronger positions. So, Columbus is pretty much in a bad position. Who do you have in the 8th spot in this Neapolitan division?
Carolina is my bottom pick in the Metropolitan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't have any faith in Cam Ward or Eddie Lack at this point.
Yeah, I think the goaltending is going to be a huge problem for them. Is Cam Ward done? I think we mentioned this, or at least I mentioned this in the summer, right? Why are they giving him this contract?
Yeah, I don't know. It makes no sense. They traded for Eddie Lack. I thought they were going to go with Eddie Lack, and then they re-signed Cam Ward, and it's well, that was pointless.
We've mentioned so many times these guys that have played one solid year, one good playoff run like a Cam Ward, maybe guys like Jonathan Quick or others are out there that had that one good run. And Ward is still going off that one good run with his new contract that he got to resign. I know it's very rare, and I even mentioned it then, that a team is re-signing a player and giving him only about half the value. It's crazy. But it's pretty crazy for them to be keeping him. Locke should be number one, in my opinion. For Carolina, I had them in the 5th spot, actually, because I project a lot of these kids to be playing much better. A kid that I think is going to step up is Hannafin, and I know you like Aho, right? Who do you else? Go ahead.
I think Teravainen's going to step up big too. Mm-hmm. He's coming over from Chicago, and I think he's going to fit right into the first line with Stahl and probably Skinner. I think will be their first line.
So they're going to play more Stahl on the wing on the first line.
Yeah, I think Skinner can play right and Teravainen left and Stahl center is what I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But Aho, he's a 40-point guy. He's just got to find his stride, and he'll be no problem scoring 40 this year.
Yeah, and I think Hannafin will start to find his groove on that back end, and he'll be getting big minutes. So we'll see. They have a very young defense too. So
they have a very young team. Period.
That is true, but I don't know. I think they stepped up and they almost made the playoffs last year. So I thought maybe they'd be almost in that same boat area. We'll see what happens. I have them in the 5th spot. You have them in the 8th. I have the New York Islanders in the 7th spot.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this team looks like they're going in the right direction. With their defense, who they're playing in the forwards. It's a tough situation. You don't have the Islanders down there, I guess?
No, I got them making the playoffs.
Wow. So we have big differences there. I don't know. I don't even have players that are really going to step up. Maybe Pulock, just because he's maybe in that transition phase to start getting bigger minutes on the back end. But the hot seat is the coach, but I think more the GM, Garth Snow. He is not putting the right players in the right positions to succeed. They didn't sign Pozo, which I thought was bad, and then they went out and got Ladd, who's getting older, and maybe he's going to provide a little bit better leadership, and I think they think that as long as they make the playoffs, Ladd will help them there. I don't know. I don't see many bright spots on this Islander team moving forward. Yourself?
I want to know what happened to Hamonic's trade offer or trade request. It just kind of got null and void, and he is now staying.
I think that's gonna hurt them too, because I still think that he does still want to leave.
Yeah, it's weird.
So, a lot of awkward kind of question marks on this team. Even goaltending. I don't know. Halak is pretty good, but he's getting older now.
I think Greiss can steal the net. I think he'll steal it by mid-season.
He could quite possibly steal the net. And then how strong is he going to be come, down the stretch and come playoff time? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see about that. Who do you have in 7th spot?
Columbus is who I have there.
Okay, yeah. And we already mentioned everything about that. And then who do you have in the 6th spot?
New York Rangers.
Wow. You have them basically falling out of the playoffs?
Yeah. They're going downhill fast.
And why is that? Pretty much just age of all the players?
Yeah, their defense core. I really don't like their defense core. I didn't like them last year. I don't like them this year. I have no faith in Stahl and Girardi and all those guys. Just McDonough's the only guy that's looking up. Brady Shea's coming up from the minors, but I don't like their defense core.
I don't know. I think they're kind of underrated because a lot of people don't think they're very good. I think injuries is a big problem for their defense core too. Stahl seems to always get injured, and they're getting up there in age, and Girardi's getting banged up too. So I think that does play a big factor on their defense. But guys that are underrated, Zuccarello is always a top player. He's so underrated.
Oh, he's so
And I think
underrated. Yeah.
he's going to be up there. And Buchnevich is my player to step up, in my opinion. I just think that he's going to get some good, decent minutes on this Ranger team as a rookie. And he's going to put up some decent points at least, right?
Yeah, I think he'll do quite all right. I have Zibanejad stepping up. I think he's going to take a huge step forward. He's already got 5 points in 4 games, so he's looking good already.
And yeah, so I think I think McDonough's underrated, so I have him up there as my underrated player on this team. But on the hot seat, it's got to be Vigneault and it's got to be the GM as well. Both of them have to be on the hot seat. If the Rangers, like you said, you have them not in making the playoffs. I have them on like the border on like that 4-5 spot, which is where I was putting Carolina in the 4-5 spot. I have them on the border as well, so a lot of question marks on this team, and we both feel that you feel that they're not going to make it at all, and I feel that they might not make it.
Yeah, I think Chris Kreider's going to be top goal scorer as well. He's definitely taken a step forward as well.
Oh yeah, he scares goalies in their goalie pads when he's crashing down on them all the time, every game.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you have on the 5th spot?
5th spot, I got the New Jersey Devils.
Yes.
Can't ride Corey Schneider all the time, all season.
Yep.
Just can't happen.
Yep. I forgot to mention I have him in the 6th spot, just under those Rangers and Carolina. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a transition year. They're going to have a new scoring leader, right, in Taylor Hall.
Yep.
So that should be a good thing. But yeah, their defense is very young. It's tough for them to take that next step with that bit of transition. Where is New Jersey? What do you think they should be doing?
God, I don't know. I have no idea. They don't have anything coming up. They like Pavel Zacha is going to be pretty good, but
yep, I have him as the player to step up on this team.
Yeah, and the rest of I don't know. They're one of those teams that you just forget about. You just forget that they're around.
Mm-hmm. I have them almost in the similar position with the Canucks, in my opinion. They don't know whether to fully rebuild or to push this team and get 1 or 2 more strong free agents, take them to the playoffs. And that's what's hurting them in the mediocrity that they are. Hall will help offensively, but it's not enough here.
No, I have players to step up. Kyle Palmieri, I think, will step up this year.
He stepped up quite a bit last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more he's going to step up.
I think it'll benefit Taylor Hall playing with him.
Oh! And Austin Matthews scores. Beauty. Wicked. All right. I'm just watching the game in the background.
Oh,
woohoo! Assisted by Willie.
Play-by-play. Huh? Jeez.
Yeah, assisted by Willie. These two guys are like best friends already. I think when Matthews scored that 4-goal game, he almost like bored by the end of the 4th goal, hugging Nylander. He's like, "Oh, you again? All right." Anyways,
see, listeners, this is how we're going to get over to 45 minutes. Peter rambles on about the Leafs. Nailed it.
Well, we're going to talk about it in a bit, but yeah, let's continue. So, going back to what we've done so far, my 8 to 4 is Blue Jackets at the bottom, Islanders 7, New Jersey 6, Carolina 5, and Rangers 4. And what are your 8 to 4?
Carolina, Columbus, Rangers, New Jersey.
And your 4th is?
New York Islanders.
Ah, yes, yes. And we are
sneaking into the playoffs, yeah.
So you have them just sneaking in. So then that means we both have Philly in that 3 spot?
Hey, you must have looked at my list.
I know. I see. I knew how we were thinking here. Hey, we both picked pretty much the same teams to not make the playoffs and to barely make the playoffs. But for Philly, they just got it. It looks like they've got everything going and trending in the right direction finally now. Provorov looks like a stud. I have him being nominated for the Calder this year.
I can't wait till, he's playing well right now, but I can't wait until he finds his NHL groove. He's going to be better than Ghost. He is.
Yeah. I feel the exact same way. He just seems like a better presence on the ice, knowing exactly what needs to be done and where it needs to be done in defensive zone, offensive zone, everywhere. He reads the play pretty well, and he's just generally good all around. Is he maybe the next Pronger for them? Maybe. We'll see. And then my underrated guy for the Flyers is Neuwirth. He just doesn't get what he should be getting in terms of love from the fans, in my opinion. And he will help them get to the playoffs.
I don't think he's going to play very much, but...
Yeah, you think Mason's going to get more?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, I don't know. I like Neuwirth, and I think he'll outplay Mason. That's my prediction. And for the Flyers, you got anything else?
Konechny, Travis Konechny, he's staying all year. He's not going back to Sarnia in the O. He's sticking around. Hextall went to Konechny and Provorov and said, "You boys are staying." So
nice.
That's pretty big before you even get through the 9-game stint that they're keeping him. So, and Giroux's got to have another great year. He has to.
Well, I'm going to expect Voracek to step it up. He hasn't been so great the last year and a half, and that will help with Giroux's game as well, and Simmons. And maybe even Couturier is going to get more of an offensive role this year, which is he's rarely gotten that chance, right? So that's that. Of course, we have number 1 and 2 switched up, right, Paul? I've got Pittsburgh as my number 2, and of course you would have Pittsburgh as your number 1. Right?
No, I don't.
No, you actually went the right way. You went the smart way.
Yeah. Well, Washington's a great regular season team. They're so good in the regular season.
Yep. So let's talk about Washington. My player to step up, Burakovsky. I really think he's going to get the minutes to put up more points, and he'll be a bigger point producer for this team.
I got Kuznetsov. I thought Kuznetsov. Yeah. He's going to be. He might outscore Ovechkin this year.
Wow.
So points-wise, not scoring. Points-wise.
Yeah. But he was top points last year too, no?
Was he?
I thought maybe he was. I think he might have been. He was up there in points.
I thought he got really cold at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, he did a little bit, but I still think he finished OV. We'll check that. But yeah, Burakovsky, I think, will step up in terms of what he's produced previously. And yeah, Holtby should be nominated again for the Vezina, the way he plays.
Yeah.
And they have good depth on this team, good scoring. So I can't see why they shouldn't be number 1. And Pittsburgh, again, we both picked them as number 2. And I have Rust as a player to maybe step up for this team. And is Pouliot on the hot seat? In my mind, he is. He's on the hot seat. He's got to produce. He's got to sub up. He's got to show he's a top 4 defenseman on this team. Or maybe it's time for the Pens to move him. What do you think?
I don't know.
Because he's on that part where it's time for him to step up fully. And if he doesn't, he's technically a bust, maybe.
I know, and I feel like he's good enough to step up. It's just I don't know what happens when he gets out on the ice. He just clams up or something. This happens to
players.
Yeah.
This happens to a lot of players where they're projected to be up that high and they just can't take it to the next level. So, yeah, maybe he busts and he isn't that top first round guy that should be in the top 4 in defense and everything. But later on in his career, he'll find a groove and be a 5th, 6th man. That's very possible, and that's what I think might happen with him. What else do you have for the Pens?
1 second. Kuznetsov did outscore Ovechkin. This just in last year.
There you go.
77 to 71. So it wasn't that bold of a prediction. I feel like an idiot.
I told you, it's kind of like I remember these stupid things. Peter remembers stupid things.
Yeah,
that's
Peter
what he hacks at. What else do you have to say for the Pens?
As for the Penguins, they signed Matt Murray to 3 more years, which is correct. Very interesting in the goaltending department.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this leave them? Where does it go?
Murray's still not going to be back, right, for a little while.
He's on pace to be back, and they said at the start of the year that he's only going to miss 9 to 10 games. So
that's about a month. So
9 or 10 games. He'll be back by November.
Yeah,
7th, 8th, 9th, in there somewhere probably.
yeah. So the GM, Jim Rutherford, right? He said, "Let's not presume that Andre Fleury, of course, is automatically out. He's been the franchise goaltender here. Let's play this out." And he mentions later on that they already started talking about this technically bridge deal during training camp. So, yeah, it looks like a bridge deal in terms of what they're offering Murray, what they gave him. Yeah. Do you like this, what they're doing right now, Paul?
I kind of do. I went and looked at Vasilevsky. When he signed, I went and looked what Vasilevsky makes. He's getting 3.5 the next 3 years.
Yep.
So it's kind of the same boat that Tampa Bay's in.
Yep.
But I think I'd much rather want Fleury Murray than Bishop Vasilevsky.
You do?
Yeah.
In terms of what Bishop has done the last 2 years?
I like Fleury. A lot of people don't, but I like Fleury.
Well, yeah, I like Fleury as well, and I think great pretty much his whole career during the regular season.
Yeah.
But Bishop has been outstanding in the last 2.5 years. That doesn't seem to maybe change. And going forward,
I want a bigger sample size.
Yeah, that's true. You might want.
And Murray is going to be far better than Vasilevsky. So.
Oh, you believe so? All right, I have them in the same boat as both a starting goaltender. I know how much better the other will be than the other, but we'll see. That future will show us. But again, that question mark we had, and we will be doing, folks, that expansion draft episode special. Paul's been busy. He got a new house. Congratulations on getting into moving in on the new house, right, Paul?
Yeah, new homeowner, man.
You're really busy. Are you doing this all by yourself?
Turned your life upside down. It's crazy. First a kid, then a house. Ugh, my life is bonkers right now.
Yes, it sure is. But again, are both teams expecting maybe one of their goalies, both of maybe their goalies to be taken during this expansion draft? That's what I'm thinking, that both of these two teams think Fleury or Bishop will be taken during the expansion draft.
Yeah, but not both of them.
Exactly, right? Both can't be taken. It'll be too much cap hit for the goalies, right? So it's pretty interesting. It'll be crazy. And that's our roundup for the Metropolitan Division. Let's just go on to the division. The Central? What are they calling this one now?
Oh, my Lord.
I forget the name of these divisions.
Atlantic.
I even forget the name.
Atlantic.
There you go. Let's move on to Atlantic. At the bottom, I've got the Buffalo Sabres.
Ouch. Really?
I just can't feel them stepping up. The players I do think that will step up for them are Ristolainen. I really feel he's going to take another step up, and he'll eat up more minutes for them on the back end.
Peter, you didn't say it right.
Ristolainen.
Yes.
That's the way it is, yes. And Robin Leonard. I think he was injured a lot last year, so he didn't get to prove what he can do. But will that be good enough to take them out of the basement? I don't think so.
I got him in the 7th spot.
Okay. So,
I'm going to admit that after Eichel went down with his high ankle sprain, I moved them down two spots. I had them just missing the playoffs, but his high ankle sprain might be a recurring injury all year if they rush him back, and I have a feeling they will because they need him.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any predictions or anything you want to say about this team? Or
Reinhardt's stepping up, and O'Reilly will be leading scorer. That's what I got.
All right. Let's go. I have in the 7th spot, surprisingly, again, I struggled to put in who I wanted to put in that area, in that 5th, 6th, 7th range, but I got the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're finally going to miss the playoffs. They don't have enough players that are willing to lead this new team now, and maybe it's because they're very young. I don't know. I have Larkin stepping up and playing even better this year. But then on the hot seat, I have Gustav Nyquist. I think they expected him to step up and take that next level 2-3 years ago, and he still hasn't done that.
Wow.
So
I got
that's
him
going to
as
hurt this team.
I got him as their top player.
Yeah, he should be. He really should be. He should be getting 70 points. But how many points are you predicting from him? 55?
Maybe 60.
Yeah, that's not good enough in my opinion. Still, if this team wants to make the playoffs and go further,
Maybe Thomas Vanek and Mike Green.
maybe that's still a lot of question marks for those two type guys.
Oh yeah, they're two injury-prone dudes that don't like to play all the time. I do have Green as my player to step up, though. I think he's finally figured out what they want him to do.
Mm-hmm. Where did you have Detroit in there? The fifth spot?
The
fifth?
Sixth spot.
There you go. And that's pretty much out of the playoffs then.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. Who did you have in the seventh spot?
You don't want my eighth spot? You just skipped right over it.
Let's go with your eighth spot then. Sorry.
The Ottawa Senators.
Whoa, easy there, boy.
Yeah.
The Sens?
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Yeah. Craig Anderson's folding. He's falling apart. Calling it.
Right. Yeah, he's getting old.
Can't ride Erik Karlsson's coattails. I don't think they have that great of a team. I just don't.
You know what? I don't either, but somehow they seem to just pull through and start playing better. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is.
Well, this year is going to be Guy Boucher that pushes them to the playoffs if they do make it.
And I think he will do that. I think they're going to be a borderline team and just maybe eke into the playoffs.
No, I think they're dropping.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been a fan of this core of Senators, but they're exciting. They put up a lot of points, but maybe their back end is full of holes still, and Anderson's getting old. So we'll see. What about the Hamburglar? Can he step up and fill in that role in between the pipes? I don't know. No, you're just shutting it down.
That was such a fad from 2 years ago. It's not happening.
Yeah, he's like a Jim Carrey then, right?
Yeah, but not as funny.
Yes, that's funny.
All right, my 8 was Ottawa, my 7 is Buffalo, and my 6 is Detroit.
Yes.
So we kind of got the same. Not Ottawa.
Okay, but I have Ottawa a little further up. I did pick Broussard to step up. I think he'll keep up the pace that he was with the Rangers, and he'll get first line playoff time. And my underrated guy on the Senators is Cody Ceci. I think he's very underrated, and he's a player on their back end that not many people know about or talk about. So I think he'll help them and maybe help the Sens maybe to get that playoff spot. All right, who do you have in your, I guess, fifth spot then?
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep.
Just missing. Well, not just missing. I have them 11th overall in the conference, so I guess not just missing, but
yeah.
I think they definitely take a step forward, and they're going to be fun to watch this year. I'm worried about how young they are and how many rookies they have that might phase out by the end of the year. It's a long season. Like, they're fun to watch now, and they play fast, but it's a grind. Exactly. It really is.
Yeah, that last game, 4-0, and then they lost it. I don't want to talk about it. But are they going to score 4 goals every game? You know what? It almost seems like they will.
Yeah.
You know what? With this team, with how so young they are, they're going to score a lot of goals. They still have the good veterans with, JVR in the lineup up there. He's going to help with putting up more points.
I would say veterans.
Well, yes. But I mean, JVR is the top guy that will get him points. But yeah, in terms of overall good veterans that are going to help make these kids play better and think more two-way, no, you're not going to help them in that situation. And that's kind of what's going on with the team so far and what's going to hurt them. They might score 4 goals every game, but they might allow 5 goals every game. And that's the problem. And exactly another reason why I didn't want Anderson to be on this Maple Leaf team. Because we don't know if he's a top number 1 guy. In my opinion, we don't know. And number 2, why are you bringing in a guy if you don't know? And they're still in transition phase to be a contender 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So, and again, they lost a few good, strong picks in getting Anderson, bringing him to Toronto. So it was kind of odd in my opinion. I forgot to mention it. I actually had the Leafs in the 6th spot. But my underrated guy is Zaitsev, and he'll be very good on the back end, I feel.
Oh, he's playing all power play time. I thought Riley was going to get all that power play time, but they've given it to Zaitsev right now, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I still think Babcock really wants to make Riley into that all-around strong defensive and offensive defenseman. And they're giving opportunities to Zaitsev. Maybe that was in his contract to bring him here. I don't know. We'll see. But, he's very solid on the back end, and he'll get better. So what do you think about this whole Matthews 1 versus number 2 Line A scenario? It's crazy what happened. Game 1, Matthews breaks records in a 4-goal debut. Insane. And then when the Leafs match up against Winnipeg the previous night, Line A goes and scores 3 goals and 1 to tie the game at the end in the last minute remaining, and then 1 in overtime to win the game. That's insane. He can score as good or maybe better than Alexander Ovechkin?
Yeah, because people don't know what he does yet. Like, everybody knows Ovechkin's move.
Yeah.
Line A's new to the league, so they're still trying to figure him out. So I think he's going to explode like Ovechkin. Well, maybe not as big as Ovechkin because the scoring's kind of changed over the years, but he's going to outscore Matthews this year.
Oh yeah, he will. He will.
And it's because they're two different types of guys. Matthews so strong on the puck. When you see him play, there's not many are knocking him off the puck.
And I'm going to tell the Maple Leafs, if you don't hire Matt Sundin to help train Matthews, I think you're missing the boat here. In terms of the type of player he is, the type of player he will be in the future, he could be like, or he is maybe in the whole Matt Sundin player type fold, maybe becoming a leader next year, right?
I really hope the Leafs fans don't put it in the Bible that Matthews has to outscore Line A, because it's not going to happen.
No. Matthews should get, 25 goals, over 60 points. That's what I'm expecting. And then Line A should be putting over 30 goals, maybe 35 goals this year.
Yeah, and playing with Scheifele, who's pretty awesome, and Blake Wheeler, who's pretty good.
And Matthews is pretty much almost playing like a third-line role as well, in terms of ice time and where they're putting him right now.
Yeah,
he's playing with... Yeah, go ahead.
Line A's already moved up to the first line, so...
Yep. And Matthews playing with Hyman, another rookie who's not projected to be a top player. He's projected to be a bottom 2-line guy.
Yeah.
And, of course, Nylander. And Nylander is going to be great as well. But, again, he's a rookie as well. Yeah. So, he hasn't been there, done that.
Yeah.
So, and, again, I'm expecting a lot out of Nylander. Even this season, 50 points or more. He's going to be great. I love Willie. So, the future looks good for both teams, especially the Maple Leafs. Who's on the hot seat for me? I have Bozak or Kadri. It's their year to figure out who's going to stay as a center and who's going to take over their role as a center on the top 2 lines, because Matthews has to take one of those positions, and maybe you put one of those other kids in that third-line center role, right?
Yeah.
So I think I have one of those 2 on the hot seat. All right. My team in the 5th spot is the Boston Bruins.
You know what? And missing the playoffs?
Yeah, missing the playoffs. Just in that spot. Maybe on the edge. Maybe just getting a playoff spot. I don't know. But I think they just might miss it. They missed it last year. I don't know. Doesn't seem like they've improved much. Is Marchand had an amazing season last year. Is he going to do the exact same thing again? Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe not. You think he's going to get, 36 plus goals again?
Yes.
I hope so. I love Marchand, but again, that's not the type of player he is, in my opinion. He's a heart and soul, hardworking guy with not the easy skill abilities of, per se, a top player. It comes out of him through the hard work ethic that he has.
And when he's got confidence, he can fire a puck.
Yeah. Sure can. He can go to the net, and he has some great flashing moves that just come up naturally to him out of nowhere. So I love him. I love him, but I don't know. I don't expect him to do as well as he did before. And the guy that's on the hot seat, is he done? David Krejci.
Really?
I don't know. I just feel that he might start slowing down now.
Huh.
Do you not? Is it maybe the injuries now taking a toll on him? I don't know. But I don't feel that he's going to get his 75 points this year.
No, I don't think he'll get there.
Yeah, so he might hit 60, and that's a hit to what they're used to from him. So yeah, and in my opinion, he's a bit of on the hot seat because they're in a bit of a transition phase. They might not make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, it's time to make some changes. And Krejci could be one of them.
Yeah.
And a guy that I like on as an up and comer, underrated, maybe both, is Vetrano. I like him, and I think he could step up a little bit more for them this year.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back from his injury. Just firing away. I like Pasternak as well.
That was another name I was thinking about mentioning, but yeah.
And I really like Brandon Carlo on the back end. He's going to be a pretty solid defenseman.
Yeah, I don't know much about Carlo. So, what kind of player is he?
Yeah, I would say he's going to chip in points. He's already got 2, I think, this year.
Wow.
He's going to chip in points,
right?
What's that?
And he's a defenseman, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's playing with Chara, right, on the first line?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I barely have heard of Carlo, and that's pretty amazing if they're pairing him up with Chara as a first pairing defenseman. So good for him, and hopefully he will succeed for the Bruins. Where do you have the Bruins in terms of the 1 to 8?
4.
You have them just in the 4, yeah. So
just making the playoffs.
Yeah, so we pretty much have a similar 4 to 8 as well for this division, but you have Ottawa near the bottom, and I have Ottawa near the top, and the rest in and around the same place. So then we go to Montreal as the number 3.
Correct.
No? Obviously, I know what you're thinking. And my guy that's so underrated is, of course, a similar player type, is Gallagher, as I'm looking him on the they're showing him on the TV on TSN. Brendan Gallagher, again, hard-working kid. I love this kid. And he should probably put up maybe 30 goals this year. No? Why not?
Yeah, he could.
I think he could. I think he could score 25 and could hit the 30-goal mark. Very underrated, and I think he'll get the chances to do that. What do you like for this the Habs?
Galchenyuk. I think he's going to step up big.
He should. But you know what? Like I said last year, and like why I was kind of angry, he didn't even play more than the first half of the season on the first line. He was playing third line minutes. And for less than the second half, they finally put him on the first line, and he still was able to get, 30 goals?
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously, he should even be getting more points this year. Very good player. On the hot seat, I got both. Therrien, if they struggle again this year, Terrian's got to go. And in my opinion, they never should have re-signed Plekanec. And I don't know what you can do. Maybe buy him out. I don't know. I think he's on the hot seat as well.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Plekanec.
Yeah. What else do you see coming from Montreal? Any big things? Maybe, again, if Price stays healthy, he should be nominated for the Vezina.
Yeah, I don't understand what the flu was. He was like a spokesperson for the flu.
Yeah. Have you seen the score of the game tonight? No? I haven't checked it.
No.
But Price is in net as we're doing this podcast tonight for Thursday. And then the top 2, I'm picking Florida as the number 2. You as well?
I'm going Tampa.
You're going Tampa. All right. We flip-flopped in the 1 and 2 for this division in the Atlantic. Why are you picking Tampa number 2?
I don't know. I like Florida. I think they're going to be a great team, and they got Luongo and Reimer to back Luongo up and not play Luongo as much as they did last year.
Yeah.
He got worn out at the end of the year.
And if we're talking about Florida, yeah, I have Luongo on the hot seat. I do have him on the hot seat.
Really?
If he gets injured or if he struggles or if they make the playoffs and he struggles again, wow, he is basically done, in my opinion. If he burns out again, he is done. He's going to be either bought out or he's basically the backup after this. In my opinion, he is. And of course, Barkov will 100% step up this year. He'll get a lot more points.
You think he'll be the scoring leader?
For the Panthers, yeah, why not? He should be.
Huberdeau. That's my pick.
Huberdeau. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always expected a lot of Huberdeau, and he's been pretty good. But it's taken him a while to become that number one type guy. So maybe he is this year. I don't know. We'll see. But I still feel that at least I was predicting Barkov to really step up in terms of points and production for them.
I'm excited to watch Mike Matheson on the back end.
Yes.
He's going to be good.
He's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah.
So, and then Tampa, I have him picked as number one. You have him as number two. The easy prediction for the step up is Jonathan Drouin.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to get tons of points. And he should be getting, finally, those opportunities. Underrated? I still feel he's underrated. It's Victor Hedman. Is he not a top 3, top 5 defenseman in this league already? In my opinion, he is.
As well as me.
Yeah, and I don't feel that people talk about him as much as they should. He's underrated, in my opinion. Victor Hedman's a stud.
Yeah. I think Drouin's going to be the scoring leader.
Yeah. Oh, scoring leader. Woo! Above Kucherov, Johnson, and Stamkos.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty bold prediction. We'll see if that happens. But yes, for sure he's going to get a ton of points. So then to beat those guys, he's going to have like 75 points at least.
Yeah,
no?
He's good. He's good.
He's going to put that many points up. All right, we'll see. It'll be an exciting season there. And then, in my opinion, the hot seat is Ben Bishop. Is he almost already on that fence to leave? Yeah, he is, actually. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of people actually have predicting Vasilevsky to play more games this year, to have more wins for the Lightning. I guess maybe they're projecting Bishop to be traded at the deadline or something, I guess. I don't know if that's going to happen. You know what? I think if the Tampa Bay's playing well, why are they going to mess with a good thing and trade Bishop at the deadline? I don't know if that will happen. So maybe during the off season, or again being taken in the expansion draft, is when I think Bishop will be gone. I still think he's going to have a good season for them. So
they better trade him before the expansion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but do you think they're going to trade him this season during the season at some time?
They have to.
I don't think they're going to get enough value for him. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a much difference of value if they trade him later on. I don't know. I just don't see a team giving Tampa what they want for a guy as valuable as Ben Bishop, as valuable as what he can do for them in the playoffs. So, and maybe that's what's hurt him, because he hasn't been healthy sometimes, especially for them in the playoffs. So that might hurt his value, or why they would want to keep him for the playoffs. So a lot of question marks surrounding him.
He's going to go to Calgary or St. Louis. One of those two teams is going to flop on goalies.
Oh, yeah. And that's pretty much how we're going to round up this episode, because we're going to talk a little about, in the next episode, the preview of the West, and what are they going to do with goaltending in Calgary, especially if it didn't work out. They almost had Bishop. Now they got Elliott. Is Elliott still good enough to be that number one goalie for the Flames that a lot of people have projecting them to be number one in their division? Yeah, a lot of people did project them to be number one. So that'll be kind of interesting, and we'll have that in the next episode. But we both pretty much predicted very similar things for the East, right?
Yeah, they'll be in our show notes, our rankings. So
yeah,
follow along there.
We're going to post our rankings. Where should we do that? We should put that on their Facebook group, our rankings. And we're very similar in terms of where we put teams, especially the top teams and the bottom teams. And that's it for season preview episode number 1 for the Eastern Conference. See you next episode.
Check the time!
What is it?
It's
way under 45.
No way. No way. No way.
It is.
No way.